Hey y'all, I'm Savannah and this is Savannah Says. So today I'm here with a book haul. This is my end of summer book haul, and I know technically summer is not like over according to like the real calendar, but it's over because September is next month and that means summer's over. So this is basically just gonna be all the books that I've bought for the rest of the summer, like from the time of my last book haul to now. I know I said I wouldn't be doing this, and I kind of have bought too many books because I don't have any space for them, but this video is split into two parts. This part is going to be physical books, and the next part is going to be Kindle books, which, yeah, is probably more outrageous than this one. And I'm not really going to be giving, like, in-depth synopsis of, like, these books. I'm going to hold up the cover, and what I know about them is what I'm going to say. You know, we're going to find out together. When we read them, we're going to find out together. So first up, I have 11/22/63 by Stephen King. And this is like a historical, it's not historical fantasy. It's like historical fantasy, sci-fi-ish kind of, because they're like time traveling. And so in this alternative universe, basically we're talking about what would happen if I think Kennedy wasn't killed. Yes. This guy's going back in time to prevent the murder of John F. Kennedy. So I know this is a TV show, but the TV show has James Franco in it. So like TBD if I'm gonna watch that, but I will definitely read the book. Next I have Cinder is the Flesh by Augustina Bazterrica. This is a book that's like a commentary on capitalism, but also it's very much about cannibalism. I'm not sure how those two things relate, but I do know this is like political in nature. So obviously I'm down to read it. It's short, and everybody that I've seen read this has said that it was like disturbing but also good. So next we have Lost Gods by Brahm. I pretty much just bought this because I thought it looked pretty, but as far as I know, this book is about a guy who basically, in order to save his wife and like unborn child, he has to go to like the depths of hell. The blurb on the back says it's like Lovecraftian and like Dante, so he's like in the inner circle of hell trying to save his family. There's gods, demon gods. I've never heard anything bad about Brahm, and this book does have pictures. So, The Fall of Reach by Eric Nyland, I think is how you say his name. So this is basically the first book in the Halo video game book adaptation series. If you don't know, Halo is about this guy, Master Chief, and they are trying to prevent the universe from being taken over by the Covenant, which is like this alien race. I probably have gotten that wrong. I've only played Halo through like once with my friend, but he told me that this book is good, and so I'm gonna read it. All of Us Villains by Amanda Foody and Christine Lynn Herman. This book is, from what I understand, like a magic, there's like these 7 families, and every generation they had this competition to, I guess, gain more powerful magic, and now there's like the magic that they're looking for this time is one of the most high forms of magic, and people thought that it was gone from the universe forever, so they're fighting for control of this magic. So I would say this is probably like magical Hunger Games, from what I'm understanding from the synopsis, and people tend to like this book, and I know the sequel just came out, so I'm excited to read this one. Babel by R.F. Kuang. Okay, so this is pretty much on my to-do list, like next to read this one, and this is about a guy who he's working, this is about a guy who's adopted, and he learns like all these languages because he's trying to get into Oxford in order to work at the Tower of Babel, which is like, you know, where all the languages from the world originated from, according to the Bible. And while he's there working, he realizes that like the British are trying to colonize the world, and he goes on a mission to stop it. And so I know this book involves magic, and honestly, I love history, so I'm excited to read this, and there's no reason why this won't be a good book. Blood Trials by Annie Davenport. This is also a new book, or new-ish book that's kind of been on the radar. This is another competition story, and this is an adult fantasy, and they basically are competing in the blood trials. This girl is trying to find out who killed her grandfather, and to do that, she enters into this competition known as the blood trials, and basically only way to like pass the trials is to not die, essentially, from what I understand. And so in order for her to like get through this trial, she's gonna join this new culture, which is different from her own, in order to find out the secrets of what happened to her grandfather. I've heard this book is really bloody, it's really graphic, which I love reading violent shit, not gonna lie, keeps it exciting. So yeah, The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson. All I know about this is that it's a high fantasy and everybody loves Brandon Sanderson. I think maybe the fourth book is coming out this year or next year. This is, I don't want to say it's like Game of Thrones, because that's just because it's a high fantasy does not mean it's like Game of Thrones. But from what I understand, it's got like multi POV and it is fantasy. Ironically, I do already have this book, but I have like the mass market paperback edition, and like the text is so fucking small. Like I can't be playing with my eyes like that. I'm already blind. So I got a bigger edition and it was half off. So yeah, Anna Karenina by Leo Tolstoy. This, I don't know which version of like the translation this is, but this is the only one that the store had when I went. And I am not a person who's into classics. I don't give a fuck. Don't really want to read about like the 1800s or whatever, but I've always been into like Russian culture. I took Russian when I was in high school. I took Russian when I was in college. I took Russian history classes in college. Like, I don't know what it is about Russia. It's interesting. And I know this is a movie with, I think Keira Knightley's in it. And it's also a musical, which, why do I know that? But I don't know. I just feel like out of all the classics, I might be into this one the most because it's like a love story. And I feel like I have to play to my strengths in order to get myself to enjoy something. So like Cinder by Marissa Meyer. So this is like a YA sci-fi from like 2014. I just am late to the party. I never read it. And these are like fairy tale retellings, but like in a sci-fi way. And this one is about Cinderella. And I know there's like, I think 4 or 5 books in the series, but I don't know if they all follow this character or if they follow different characters. But this series is like beloved in the book community, so I just have to assume that it is good. My Dearest Darkest by Kayla Cunningham. This is, I think it's YA horror, maybe fantasy horror, I think, but definitely horror, thriller, maybe mystery thriller. And it's about this girl, and she goes to this prestigious like academy, because they're always at an academy, and they end up summoning like this monster from the pits, you know, the pits of wherever the pits are at. And yeah, they have to deal with that in this book. And lastly, we have The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This is a mystery. I don't know if it's a thriller, but it's definitely like a YA mystery, like adventure type book. And I think people compare it to Knives Out, which I've never seen Knives Out, but from what I know about it, it is like it's like Clue, like the game Clue, I think. So this is like Clue, but I think that it's like Hunger Games-ish, which I need to find a new explanation for what that trope is. But it's a competition. Again, we love competition books. Okay, so I read the back of it, and it's not really a competition. It's more like trying to figure out secrets, I think, in order to like win this inheritance from this like billionaire man who passes away. So yeah, I mean, I don't have any reason to assume that any of these books are going to be bad. And this book is got a lot of like attraction on the internet, so I keep seeing it everywhere. So I was like, it's my time to read it. So hopefully it's good. This is me from obviously a different point in time, just adding on to the physical book haul you just watched me do. I forgot, but this summer I have been watching Lord of the Rings for the first time as an adult. I saw them as a child when they came out. My mom took me to the theater with her. I was like her movie buddy. She loved them. She always watches them like at home. She has like all the movies, but I don't know. As an adult, I never paid attention to them. I never like watched them on my own to like fully understand what was going on. So I did that this summer. And last week I just watched Return of the King, and I watched the extended edition, and I was like fucking obsessed. I'm still thinking about it. So I forgot that after I watched Fellowship of the Ring, I bought the books, because I feel like if the movies are that good, the books have to be good too. And I got the movie edition of like the covers, so like the movie tie-in. So I'm just gonna, obviously we know what these books are called, but The Hobbit, we have Fellowship of the Ring, The Two Towers, and then Return of the King. So I'm excited to read these. If you've seen the movies, you obviously know the plot, but I know that the plot of the movies maybe differs. So anyway, I'm just excited to read these. I'm excited to like become a Lord of the Rings person. It is about to be my new thing. Just wanted to jump in and let y'all know that. Just, you know, I do read fantasy that's not have romance involved. So I just wanted to let that be known. And yeah, I'm excited. And that's all I have for you for the physical part of this. The Kindle part of this will probably be longer because they're digital and I buy everything when it's on sale. But until then, let me know, have y'all read any of these books? If you have, do you like them? What books should I be buying? Should I be reading, interested in, you know, keeping up with? Let us just know in the comments below. Like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all next time.